Hello. I want to talk about something that's been, on my mind. I watched the Jimmy video talking about nostalgia and RuneScape. I watched the Asmongold reaction to Jimmy, and then I watched the Jimmy reaction to Asmongold reacting to Jimmy. And I wanted to put in my 2 cents because there were mainly three games that were brought up. There was obviously RuneScape, Old School RuneScape. We'll just combine them as one. There was WoW, which was brought up, another one. And then there was also Halo as well. And I feel like I wanted to give my perspective on it because a lot of both sides, from what I understand, were like, well, obviously Asmon's very deep into WoW and Jimmy's very deep into RuneScape. And also something that was mentioned was that Asmongold stated that how was it worded exactly? That Halo Infinite, Halo 5 wouldn't done as well without Halo 2, 3, and Reach. And talking about how one of the main drives for people going to Old School RuneScape is nostalgia. And I wanted to have this perspective on it because I have played Halo 2, 3, Reach. I've played 5 a very little bit, I think. I might have it, I don't know. No, I think I did play a little bit of 5. And then I played Infinite. I have also played Old School RuneScape up until about, the original RuneScape as it was airing until about 2007, 2008. And then I started playing Old School RuneScape when it came out, when it came out, the whole thing. It was, I was excited for it because I did not like the way the combat changes were made. And I also played WoW in about 2008 till about 2013, somewhere around there. And then I played Classic WoW recently. So I feel like out of all the games mentioned, I've played all of them. So I should be able to have a good opinion on it, right? So I want to start with I guess I should do this chronologically. I'm not certain exactly how I want to break this down. I'll start kind of chronologically showcasing when I played games, at least at certain times in the past, and then start breaking each game down. So I want to start first by saying, I started playing RuneScape about when it launched with the old RuneScape that was 2D. Everything was just two-dimensional. You could do a lot of weird stuff. It wasn't that well made where when you got into combat, you had to be in combat for 3 attacks before you could run. And, I played for that one time, and Halo also came out during that time period. So what we would do, my 2 brothers and I, we would actually rotate. We would be playing Halo 2 and RuneScape, and we would just rotate every few rounds. And we did this all the way up until probably 2007. So Halo 3, Halo Reach, we also did that with, obviously. Obviously, I don't really remember when Reach came out, but it was there, right? All 3 of those were there. And right around that time, around 2008, I started playing World of Warcraft. I want to say, I played BC, but I started in BC, I should say. And in BC, I would state that, I want to say it was about 2 weeks before Wrath came out, but it may have been as early as 1 month before Classic came out, when I hit level 70. And so I played a lot of WoW too. So I've played a lot of RuneScape back in the day. I played a lot of Halo back in the day, and I also played WoW in my earlier adult years, right? And when I look back at each one and talking about in terms of nostalgia, how much can it keep you playing a game? And when I look at Halo, I played Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo Reach a lot. In Halo 3, I remember vividly in a big team battle, Slayer, it might have been Slayer, I don't know if it was Slayer, but it was big team battle. And it was great. I had 28 kills, 0 deaths. I'll never forget that. I want to say it was on Rat Trap. I don't remember map names all of a sudden. I'm not trying to go and do all this research to be real detailed in the numbers and everything. But I played a lot of Halo. Halo 5 and Halo Infinite, I played, but you won't see me back on those. I mean, I'm not going to play them. Because, as you can see, like, just right over here, I got Halo Infinite. I played it for 8 hours, if that's even really considered playing much of it, probably, and the Halo Infinite multiplayer was free. it was free. You could play it for free. I may have bought the first battle pass. I don't remember. Last time I opened it was in 2021. And that's not to say I didn't get the game because of, nostalgia. That's mainly the reason I did get that game, was nostalgia. But you can tell that the whole reason I don't play the game is because the nostalgia wore off and I was done with it. Looking at World of Warcraft, I played a lot during the Wrath expansion and Cataclysm expansion. In Wrath, I just have a lot of fond memories of stuff. I can't tell you the exact, remember every little bit in detail, but I remember enjoying it a lot. I didn't really accomplish much in the game because obviously I was still new, so I was just kind of having a good time. And then in Cataclysm, I joined a different guild where, we were able to accomplish things. I got the legendary daggers on my rogue, and it felt amazing. And then when they brought out WoW Classic, I played that on launch for a good bit, but didn't hit max level for a good while. And even when I did hit max level, I didn't really get into many raids because I didn't have time to do it. And in Wrath Classic, that was one that I wanted to get in. I wanted to be ready for anything, and I did all of that. I got lots of money. I did all these things I never got to do. I got to do Yogg-Saron that I never did when Wrath first came out. I never did Algalon, so I did Algalon. There were a few things that I wasn't able to do because I quit my job in December, and at that point I couldn't maintain the subscription, but even at that point, I didn't want to play the game anymore. It was a chore to get on. It was a chore to do this, a chore to do that. It felt very much I was forcing myself to play because I would feel upset if I made my friends disappointed that I didn't get on because I was in a 10-man group with friends. I felt great raiding with them, but I felt bad when I couldn't be there because I was the only shaman that we could easily get. And it felt more like a chore, and now that Cataclysm's Classic is back, I have a job lined up, and even when I start getting money, I'm not playing Cataclysm. I'm just not. I'm not interested. I don't care about it. I didn't want to play Season of Discovery. I'm not saying that these games are necessarily bad, though, or these ideas are bad, or these games have bad things. Just both Halo Infinite and all the classic WoW stuff and retail just aren't for me. So, now let's spend a bit of time talking about Old School RuneScape and how I feel about the whole thing, because that was really the main point of this video and everything. And I will first start by talking about how I remember RuneScape growing up. I mean, one of the big things that I mentioned was that we would rotate playing Halo and playing RuneScape from time to time. I was, back in the day when you could get the fire cape, I was the guy that in our friend group, my brother's friends group, my friend group, all our friends groups, I was the one that was the designated person to fight Jad and get the fire cape. That's kind of account sharing. Please don't ban me, Jagex. It's not something I do now, so please, no, don't leave your hands off for a little bit, right? And there are also many other things I'm nostalgic about that are nostalgic about things that I remember, not things that I remember and be like, oh, I should play the game. Because I remember, for instance, currently, Dragon Chain bodies in the game are about 200k gold. I vividly remember back in the day, in the course span of 2 days, doing Cowfight Queen in a couple trios and a couple duos. And we got 3 Dragon Chain bodies within 2 days. They each sold between somewhere 27 million gold to 33 million gold. I remember those because that was insane to me. That was crazy. At a time where the Dragon Chain body was at its peak back in probably 2004, it was shortly after Bears came out for people who need to, want to know. And now it's like, yeah, okay, I came back, get the Dragon Chain body and go, well, I'm done. I don't want to do anything else. I was part of that group of people that Jimmy talked about, that a bunch of people joined within the first few months and then completely dropped it. That was me for a long time. I don't think I came back to the game until, after the Cave Kraken had come out, after Zulrah has come out, multiple different updates had come out. I remember part of the reason I kept playing was because of the Toxic Blowpipe, a weapon that was never in the game previously. And going in and talking about how I'm nostalgic about certain things about the game, being nostalgic about the Cowfight Queen is a boss fight that has no mechanics, really. You can't do anything. You can't react to any of the things it does. The best thing you could do back in the day is you got two people stand on one side of the boss. Each one stand on one side of the boss. That was the best you could do. Nowadays, with the mechanics that are in the game, I know for a fact I'll never become a grandmaster in the game because there's just so many difficult challenges that are so challenging that really push you to the limit. I really would even state, I feel like I'm very confident in this, that if Asmongold were given a character with every item in the game, every tool and utility in the game, max level combat, everything, I don't think he could get Blood Torva in a week, having max Awakener's Orbs as well. It is I've seen videos of people doing it. There is not a shot that I will be able to do it ever in my lifetime, and I've played the game my whole life. And the combat differences between Calfight Queen and getting Blood Torva is insane. I don't think I'll ever get it. But that's why I'm enjoying the game. And, well, what is the whole reason of all this? Is discussing whether or not you're nostalgic about something. And, well, let me talk about my most recent time I came back to the game. So, why did I come back recently? Well, there was an update, and I was just curious about the update. See, there's things in the game called treasure trails where you can do clues and they send you on paths and you can get loot at the end. And one of the things I like doing are master clues. Something that was never in the game at launch. At launch, they only had easy, medium, hard. Now you can get easy, medium, hard, elite, and turn all 4 of those in to get a master clue. And it's kind of been the whole, when I've played the game, that's been really my driving force a lot of times to get levels. It says, hey, you need 90 woodcutting for this. Hey, all right, well, let me get 90 woodcutting to do this thing, to do this master clue, to get some loot. It's a way to drive the player to achieve things without really, it's setting goals without telling the player, yeah, you have to do this goal. You don't have to. You can just drop it and do another one. Who cares? But one of the recent updates added the ability to pickpocket gnomes, paladins, and heroes for clues, being medium for gnomes, hard from paladins, and from elites from heroes. And you can already get easies from ham members. And I was curious. I just thought, you know what? All right, I haven't played in a while. I don't really like thieving, but maybe this will be an easy way to get clues. I went, started at the bottom, did ham members, got easy clues, went to gnome, realized I was doing it wrong, not a big deal, but eventually got a medium clue. Paladin took a while, and hero took a while. Got my 4 clues, went and did a master clue. Got it, finished it, and got myself a 34 kill count Bloodhound pet. Which might not seem like a lot, but when it's a 1 in 1,000, and many people have been infamous for going 3,000 to 5,000 clues dry, it felt really good. It took me 3 days to get that clue and do it. It took a lot of time and effort to get it. The 34 kill count Bloodhound pet really just made me reinvigorated to play the game again, and nothing that was given to me other than the clue system itself was nostalgic. It was all stuff that they had added in. Masters are something that came out in 2016. You have, the thieving was just that update. The pet system is something that was only built in basically this game. There were cats, but that wasn't, listen, the cats are easy to get. It's not a big deal. And when you look at all of this, and I then said, okay, well, what's my next thing I can do? Well, I was like, well, I could go and do Guardians of the Rift, something that is a completely new thing that I feel like has only come out within the past few years. So I've been doing Guardians of the Rift from time to time and doing some other small things here and there. But every time I come back, I don't think about, that time I got those 3 dragon chain bodies and go, yeah, I'm going to just do the Calfight Queen all day. Because if I hate that boss, and I think a lot of people in the game don't like that boss because it's just poorly designed. They've been doing a great job of creating content for all types of players. Even something like a few years back, the Grotesque Guardians, the Gargoyle boss, though it might look like it's made for endgame players, it's just the later you are in the game, the better you'll be at it. But you can start it early. I'm not even technically an endgame player, and TOA is something that I do with my brother. We're trying to get good loot from time to time, but we just have a decent time doing it. And TOA is mechanically extremely more, infinitely more complex than doing the Calphite Queen. I think it's something that nostalgia definitely did bring me back for a little bit. In all these games, nostalgia brought me back for a little bit. But the reason why I keep coming back to Old School RuneScape is because I want to play Old School RuneScape. It's a good game. Alright, so this is the end of the video. If you've watched this far, I'd appreciate it if you give it a like. Let me know what you love or hate about it, or love or hate about anything else going on in your life. I'd be okay with it. Tell me how I'm wrong or right, or, you know, how I'm silly to basically be kind of, I don't know, I guess what people use leeching off of them. I just felt like this was something that got brought up. It'd been talked about over the course of a few days a lot, and I really wanted to get this out there because I felt like I want to continue to do stuff on here, but a lot of times I don't know what to do, and I do have an idea of what I want to do next week, at least one of the videos I plan on doing next week, and, you know, I plan on doing a bunch of more things. I also have been streaming on Twitch. I've been streaming weekdays, Monday through Friday. I start around 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. EST. Play for a little bit, just trying to experiment, you know? Try to go do stuff, you know? That's what you want to do. So you can find me on there. I've been doing a lot of Slay the Spire because I'm not great at the game, so I want to play it so I can learn and probably do better at Slay the Spire 2. I'm also going to be on Monday playing Monster Hunter every Monday, at least for now. It might be more than that because in Wilds you get to have 2 weapons with you, and I want to learn heavy bowgun from the start. So I plan on doing a Monster Hunter run where I get rid of all the like bonuses you get at the start, basically trying to see how it feels to level in the game with a heavy bowgun without all the benefits of getting everything. So if you're interested in that, you can go follow me on Twitch. I'll link it. There'll be a link below, link somewhere, I don't know. I'm getting used to this. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm just a guy on the internet. You don't gotta listen to me. So, anyways, I'd appreciate it if you give a like, comment, you know, subscribe. I didn't even mention subscribing. You could subscribe too. That's free. You just click the button. You don't have to have the head bell. I don't have an upload schedule on here. I'm still trying to work it out, okay? I'll eventually get it going somewhere at some time. But thanks for watching. Hopefully you have a good one. See ya.